Hi students, welcome to the class. The last class we had discussed about basic process of respiration. So we had discussed about this internal and external respirations also, cellular respirations also. Today we are going to discussing types of respiration, the detailed study of respiration. Okay. So what is respiration? We already discussed that. What is respiration? Yes, that's right. Respiration is the process in which organisms exchange gases between their body cells and the environment. From prokaryotic bacteria and archaeans to eukaryotic protists, fungi, plants, and animals, all living organisms undergo respiration. Respiration may refers to any of the three elements of the process. So this is what respiration. So first one, the respiration may refers to external respiration or the process of breathing. That means inhalation and exhalation. These also called as what? This inhalation and exhalation, that is we call as water breathing or this ventilation. Okay. So secondly, the respiration may refers to internal respiration, which is the diffusion of gases between body fluid, which means blood and intestinal fluid, okay, and tissues. This is the second process. And third one, respiration may refers to the metabolic process of converting the energy stored in biological molecules to usable energy in the form of ATP. This process may involve the consumption of oxygen and production of carbon dioxide, as seen in aerobic cellular respiration, or may not involve the consumption of oxygen, as in the case of anaerobic respiration. So these are the three stages of the respiration. Okay. So what is this external respiration? External respiration is the breathing process. It involves inhalation and exhalation. It is also called as what? Ventilation. Okay. And internal respiration involves the gas exchange between blood and body cells, otherwise tissues. Okay. And next is cellular respiration involves the conversion of food to energy. What? It involves a cellular respiration involves the conversion of food to energy, that is also called as for aerobic respiration. It's a cellular respiration, okay, that requires oxygen, while anaerobic respiration, okay, does not. See the figure. External and internal respiration. When inhaling the diaphragm contracts, okay, even inhaling the diaphragm contract and the lungs expand. Okay, when inhale the air, sorry, this figure. Okay, when inhale the air, the diaphragm will contract and the lungs is expand. Okay, and pushing the chest upward. When exhaling, the diaphragm relaxes. When exhale the air, the diaphragm relaxes and the lungs contract, moving the chest back down. You just take long breath, like, okay. So you can able to feel that your chest just come forward. Okay, just comes forward, otherwise upward. Okay, that is what inhalation. That means your diaphragm is contract and the lungs is expand. Now the lungs having full of air. Okay, and when you are exhaling, the diaphragm relax and the lungs contract. It's moving just back down. Okay, so this is an external and internal respiration. So external respiration, one method for obtaining oxygen from the environment is through external respiration or breathing. In animal organisms, the process of external respiration is performed in a number of different ways. Animals that lack specialized organs for respiration rely on diffusion across external tissue surface to obtain oxygen. Others either have organs specialized for gas exchange or have a complete respiratory system. In organisms such as nematodes, that means roundworms, gases and nutrients are exchanged with the external environment by diffusion across the surface of an animal's body. Insects and spiders have respiratory organs called trachea. And while fish have gills as sites for gas exchange, humans and other mammals have a respiratory system with specialized respiratory organs, lungs, and tissues. In the human body, oxygen is taken into the lungs by inhalation and carbon dioxide is expelled from the lungs by exhalation. External respiration in mammals encompasses the mechanical processes related to breathing. This includes contraction and relaxation of the diaphragm and accessory muscles as well as breathing rate. So this is what external respiration. And next is internal respiration. Internal respiration is external respiratory process. Explain how oxygen is obtained. That you knows that. So I will ask you one question. How does oxygen get to body cells? How does oxygen get to body cells? Yes, that's internal respiration that's involved the transportation of gases between the blood and body tissues. Oxygen within the lungs diffuses across the thin epithelium of lungs alveoli or air sacs. Okay, into surrounding capillaries containing oxygen depleted blood. At the same time, carbon dioxide diffuses in the opposite direction, that means from the blood to lungs alveoli, and is expelled. Oxygen rich blood is transported by the circulatory system from lung capillaries to body cells and tissues. While oxygen is being dropped off at cells, carbon dioxide is being picked up and transported from tissue cells to the lungs. Okay, so this is the internal respiration occur in the body. And next is cellular respiration. See this figure, cellular respiration. See the 3-ATP, 3-ATP, the process of 3-ATP production or cellular respiration include glycolysis. So this process is called as what? Glycolysis process. It occur in the mitochondria. Okay, cellular respiration that occur in mitochondria, and this produce what? 3-ATPC, 1, 2, and 3. Okay, the 3-ATPs are formed in the process of glycolysis, otherwise cellular respiration. The tricarboxylic acid cycle and the oxidative phosphorylation and credit, these processes are occur in the cellular respiration. Okay, the oxygen obtained from the internal respiration is used by cell in cellular respiration in order to access the energy stored in the food we ate. Biological molecule composing food, example that is carbohydrate, protein, etc., okay, must be broken down into form the that the body can utilize. Okay, this is accomplished through the digestive process where food is broken down and nutrients are absorbed into the blood. The blood is circulated throughout the body. Nutrients are transported to body cells. In cellular respiration, glucose obtained from digestion is split into its constituent parts for the production of energy. Through the series of steps, glucose and oxygen are converted to carbon dioxide, water, and the high energy molecules adenosine triphosphate, that means this ATP, adenosine triphosphate. It's carbon dioxide and water formed in the process diffuse into the interstitial fluid, okay, interstitial fluid and surrounding cells. From there, carbon dioxide diffuses into blood plasma and red blood cells. ATP generated in the process provide the energy needed to perform normal cellular functions such as macromolecule synthesis, muscles contraction, cilia and flagella movements, and cell division. So this is the process occur in cellular respiration. I hope all of you understood the cellular respiration. Okay, next we are going to discussing about this aerobic respiration. So what is this aerobic respiration or aerobic cellular respiration? It consists of three stages. Okay, see the diagram. Aerobic respiration, it's a glycolysis process and the citric acid cycle and Krebs cycle. Okay. So this cycle, this glycolysis cycle, citric acid, and this Krebs cycle, this you are detail you will learn in the higher classes. I will give you the short information about this glycolysis, Krebs cycle, and the citric acid cycle. So this aerobic cellular respiration consists of three stages, that is glycolysis, citric acid cycle or Krebs cycle, and electron transport with oxidative phosphorylation. Okay. So first one is the glycolysis. Glycolysis is the system. See this glucose that is converted to glucose 6-phosphate. Glucose 6-phosphate is again converted to form what? Fructose 6-phosphate, and this release what to ATP. Okay. And next is the glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate. Okay. And next is converted into C. In between it is releases ATP. Okay, ATP to ADP, and this to NADP, NAD to NADPH. Okay. And see this is formed, then after it's formed what? 1 3 what? Biophosphoglycerate. Okay. And next is converted into what? 3-phosphoglycerate, and this time is produced releasing what? Water. And see, and then it is converted into phosphoenol pyruvic acid. Okay. And next is convert, then at last it get what? Pyruvate. So this glycolysis occur in the cytoplasm and involves the oxidation or splitting of glucose into pyruvate. Okay, this glucose that is splitting into pyruvate. See, in between these processes are occur in the glycolysis. Okay, you will learn this in the higher classes. So two molecules of ATP and two molecules of high energy NADH are also produced in glycolysis. In the presence of oxygen, pyruvate enters the inner matrix of the cell mitochondria and undergoes further oxidation in the Krebs cycle. Then after it goes what? It's a Krebs cycle or citric acid cycle. Okay. So the Krebs cycle, the two additional molecules of ATP are produced in this cycle along with the CO2, additional proton and electron. And the high energy molecules NADH and FADH2 electrons generated in the Krebs cycle move across the fold in the inner manner, that means cristae, that separate the mitochondrial matrix inner compartment from the inner membrane space outer compartment. This creates an electrical gradient, and which helps the electron transport chain pumps hydrogen proton out of the matrix and into the inner membrane space. So this is Krebs cycle. And next is the electron transport chain. See the electron transport, how it is transport electrons, and chain a series of electron carrier proteins complexes which the within the mitochondrial inner membrane. NADH and FADH to generate the Krebs cycle and transfer their energy into the DC. NADH and FADH2 is produced in the Krebs cycle, and this transfer into electron transport chain to transport protons and electron to the intermembrane space. The high concentration of hydrogen proton in the intermembrane space is utilized by the protein complex ATP synthesis to transport proton back into the matrix. This provides the energy for the phosphorylation of ATP to ADP to ATP. Electron transport and oxidative phosphorylation occur for the formation of 34 molecules of ATP. In total, 38 molecules are produced in prokaryotes in the oxidation of single glucose molecules. This number is reduced at 36 ATP molecules in eukaryotes, as 2 ATP are consumed in the transfer of NADH to mitochondria. So this is the aerobic respiration. And next is we are going to discussing the anaerobic respiration. Sorry, before we want to know about this equation of aerobic respiration, see glucose plus oxygen, it will would happen Yes, it's make a what carbon dioxide. We both are react and it's produce carbon dioxide, water and energy ATPs. Total 30. How much? 36 in the case of eukaryotes. Okay, 36 in eukaryotes and a prokaryote having 38. Clear? And next we are going to discussing about this anaerobic respiration. So you know, yeah, um, how do extremely like some bacteria and archaea survive in the environment without oxygen? How they are, you know, that the underground soil we are not getting oxygen, so the small extreme of it, like small bacteria and archaeans are the survive there, so how they get the how they are spare. Yes, that is anaerobic respiration. So this type of respiration occurs without oxygen and involves the consumption of another molecules, that is nitrate, sulfur, iron, carbon dioxide, etc. Instead of oxygen, unlike in fermentation, anaerobic respiration involves the formation of an electrochemical gradient by an electron transport system that result in the production of a number of ATP molecules. Unlike in aerobic respiration, the final electron recipient is a molecule other than oxygen. Many anaerobic organisms are obligate anaerobes. They don't perform oxidative phosphorylation and die in the presence of oxygen. Others, the facultative anaerobes and can also perform aerobic respiration when oxygen is available. You know about this anaerobic respiration yeast fermenting the fermentation process. When we have put the yeast into the, if any paste, which means the rice paste or wheat paste, then after it will be, would happen, it's fermenting. We are baking cakes also with the help of we are putting some for what baking. So these yeast also having what this anaerobic respiration, and this anaerobic respiration that's produced lactic acid or ethyl alcohol. Okay, so this anaerobic respiration in certain microbes, organisms like fungi, yeast, and bacteria, glucose is partially oxidized into lactic acid or ethyl alcohol and carbon dioxide in the absence of oxygen. So this process is called as what anaerobic respiration or fermentation, and the energy released during this process is very less. Anaerobic respiration, it's release the energy very less energy. I hope all of you understood this types of respiration. Okay, thank you.